Abe is so excited that it's Friday, he's kicking his heels up. Happy Friday, Roanie Ranchers. I hope everybody had a wonderful week. Oh, the sun has decided to peek out. It has been cold today. This morning we had our first really hard frost. It was well into the 30s. And the nice warm temperatures that we had are probably gone for the season. And it's a good and it's a bad thing. Abe enjoys the cooler weather, and so does Louie. Once the snow hits, and once it's not fluctuating, 20 to 30 degree temperature swings in the day, he enjoys the cooler weather and does better. Roanie! Roanie! Apparently they're having a spat. This is interesting. Usually Roanie does not do this. So what he was looking for Abe to do was move off. And the reason that Roanie kept after him was because he didn't. So notice he stopped once he moved. So the dominant one is the horse that is able to move the other horse's feet. So that's what that was all about. But as I was saying, with the cooler temperatures, it's like I said, it's a good and it's a bad thing. For Abe, it's good. He seems to be doing a little better with his breathing because of the coolness. Things have stopped flying in the air and such. The pollen and everything that kind of sets off his heaves. Louie, however, because there are such big temperature swings, literally, I think we were 30 degree temperature swing one day. His system just can't handle that. He's been having his leg shakes and just not feeling as well as he normally has. Like he has been in the summer. And one thing that I have noticed with him is that he is pretty stiff. So we're going to try some other treatments on him. We're actually going to try 1,000 time Equine Osteo-MAX with him, and actually Abe. Abe can get up and down, but when he's moving, he just does not look fluid like he used to. And don't get me wrong, I understand that, at least with Abe, his age might be starting to play a little bit of a role in that. He has never been thin. So I should say never. He hasn't been thin in the last, decade or so? Not decade. Maybe 7 years, we'll put it. He hasn't been thin. So it does play a role on his joints. So we're going to try and get them on that. It's been ordered, so hopefully it will come in the next couple of days. And it will loosen them up. That's one of the things that it does is help with the synovial fluid. So we'll see. A rescue friend has had really good results with it, and she actually, all of her horses that have had that have arthritis or have had major injuries have been on it and have done really well on it. So that's why I'm willing to give it a try and see if it works. Other than that, Mark came over this week and did their feet. You can see how tentative he is on the ground that is transitioning from the pad to the grass, but once he gets on the grass, he walks better. He's more confident. Part of that is because he just got trimmed and he's always sore after he just gets trimmed. But part of that is also the soreness that I was talking about. One thing that is going on is tomorrow we are going to be at Bryan and Stratton at the Amherst location. I posted about it earlier today. The event is from 10 to 1. We're going to have some items for sale there. We're going to have t-shirts. We also are going to have items from our garage sale. So if you're looking for some unique gifts, there's also going to be vendors there. It's a nice outing that Bryan and Stratton puts on. There's lots of arts and crafts kind of stuff, and some of the students have some items there. So it's a nice event. Just look at the flyer that we have. There's going to be a basket raffle there as well, and that's going to be benefiting a veterans organization. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow, come on out to the Amherst location of Bryan and Stratton on Millersport and come say hi. So this is the normal daily routine for the crew. They get done with eating and they head out. They spend most of the day and evening out on pasture. They come in to get something to drink real quick, have something to eat, a mouthful or two of hay, and then they head back out. They really enjoy being out on the pasture. Soon enough, we're going to start closing off pastures. It is almost hunting season, so we close off the top pasture because that's closest to the woods. And while we don't allow anybody and the property is posted, that doesn't mean that people adhere to the posted signs. So, with so many, with Louie and even Abe being the color that they are, I really don't want to put them in any danger with somebody who mistakes them for a deer, which unfortunately has happened with horses. So that's going to get closed off. We're probably going to wait a little while on the third pasture since it is larger now, since we did expand it. And the second pasture is always the last pasture that we close off. We like them to still have room to run around and roam around and walk and keep active, even though there's not going to be much grass, nor is there much grass left. So that's why we are feeding out hay. And let's see if they're going to pick a spot or if they're going all the way out. But this is the nightly journey that they take. We did get some good news today. Thank you once again to everybody that helped with donating to the Hurricane Helene and Milton victims. And there was really the Hurricane Helene victims when we sent stuff down. We did learn that the 8 horses in Florida, all of their owners were found. So that's a good thing. And the horses that are being helped in North Carolina, we're waiting on, or at least I'm waiting on, hearing an update on that. So I've only heard about the horses from Florida, and hopefully there will be just as good of news in North Carolina. The reports that I'm hearing are not as positive, unfortunately, in North Carolina. So fingers crossed that the guys up in North Carolina were able to find their owners and be reunited. The situation there is still dire. They don't have, in some areas, what you doing, Ron? In some areas, they still don't have water. They have to boil their water. And so that's obviously causing issues when you have animals. Not even talking about the conditions for the people. So even if they do find the owners, you know, the shape of their property and their ability to take care of the animals is definitely it's definitely harder. So I'll keep you guys updated once I hear anything. And yeah, just keep the positive thoughts going for them. The number that I heard is around 600 displaced horses. So we'll see. We're still involved. We're still got our ear to the ground to see how we can help. FEMA is still over there and working on some things. So we're just waiting to hear what the plan is going to be. And if their plan is actually going to help the horse owners, or if they're going to need some additional help. And that's where the horse rescue organizations will step in and provide whatever resources they need. So that's what's going on over there. You guys took a nice walk all the way back to the 4th pasture. It is beautiful. The fall is a beautiful time here on the property, and they really enjoy taking advantage of it. So that's why I leave them out as long as possible, so that they can really enjoy the beauty that's out here, because they really do. The deer are running too, so that keeps them on their toes. Louie is not a fan of deer at all. You always know when they are around because his head shoots up and he's like a telescope. He's looking all over, a periscope. He's looking all over the place trying to see where they are, and not get too close to him. He will come back to the barn if he gets too concerned with the deer. And our deer have no issues with running the fence line, jumping into the pasture, jumping out of the pasture. We have a group that's really not scared of people. So it's just a small group. It's like about 5. There's a couple babies in there, and they're really not bothered by us. So it's nice because I like seeing the deer. I know some people think that they're a nuisance, but I think they're pretty, and I like them being around and having a safe place to be where they feel comfortable. But that's just me. But other than that, this week we are still getting ready for a Giving Tuesday. That's really where my main focus is right now. Oh, the other thing that happened is that Ellie's new friends arrived, and they're getting settled in. They are a super bonded pair. They do not like being that far away from each other. And, you know, they've gone through a lot, but they are, they're settling in nicely. They haven't been, at least with the last update that I got, they haven't all been together. Since they are just new arrivals, they got to get used to the lay of the land and being comfortable in their surroundings before Ellie is going to be included or introduced, I should say. Because if you do it too soon, it can really turn bad because they don't know what's going on. And then, of course, with Ellie being blind too, you have to really be careful. So Ellie still has her friend, and they are still hanging out together, so she's not alone. It's just a matter of bringing in the other, or having the other two be brought in to create a bigger herd. And they are big boys. So I'm sure that Ellie's mom, Pam, will share some pictures with me once everybody is introduced, or at least not together, but maybe over the fence or something. She's awesome with doing that. So I'm looking forward to seeing the pictures and how Ellie does with the big boys. But that's really it for this week. It's been quiet, and that's fine. that's absolutely fine with me. Like I said, it is fundraising time, so we're getting ready for that, and getting ready for Giving Tuesday, so that we're able to raise some money and to be able to bring in more horses safely, which is really the main theme of our Giving Tuesday. With all of the diseases that have been being transmitted among the horses, especially in New York State, we really have to be careful and strategic with bringing in horses. You know, there's no point in bringing in horses if it's going to harm, if the new horses are going to put Abe and Louie in harm's way. So over the next month or so, I'll be telling you guys more about why it's so important that the horses be quarantined and separated, and why it's important that we finally do have a separate quarantine area. So keep an eye out for that. But until then, we're going to try and enjoy the last bit of sunshine that's happening right now. And we'll leave the boys be to enjoy their time up on the pasture. But I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. I hope that you can come on out to Bryan and Stratton Amherst campus tomorrow from 10 to 1 and come say hi. Would love to see some new faces and some talk more about Abe and Louie and what we're doing, and just say hi. I always enjoy meeting the supporters. So hope to see everybody tomorrow. Have a wonderful weekend, guys, and I will talk to you next week.